inscription on the side. If one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism will be revealed.
Wait, what? Und damit willkommen zurück zu einer neuen Folge Genshin Impact. Ich bin aus Versehen zu weit reingelaufen, deswegen hatte ich schon angefangen zu labern. My bad, aber jo.
See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Ist ein nicer Anime.
Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monuments here. So you're saying they're related to all this?
Yes.
When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany me. But when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time, but in a certain order as well. Otherwise, the seal will not be broken. The secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast, yet even one haven is hard to find.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in riddles?
I think I've heard this saying before.
Certainly you have. And the contents of this saying are also related to the god of salt. To provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War. This benevolent god searched all across Liyue. At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, even one sliver of peace was a luxury. And that haven she eventually found is right here. Today, it is known as Sal Turai.
How sad then. In the end, this peaceful place was destroyed by Morax.
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break the seal. Whatever happened doesn't matter as long as we can get inside that ruin.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. With this clue, you should be able to solve the puzzle.
Süden, Osten, Westen, Norden, oder?
Let me lead the way from here.
Aber... Oh. Die Frage ist nur, von wo aus gesehen. Und was zum Teufel, warum sind alle meine Charakter tot, lol? Oh, da war ich wohl mal AFK. Damn. Da war ich mal im AFK in der Nähe von ein paar Monstern. Ich hasse es so sehr. Verzieh dich mit deinem dämlichen Einfrieren. Natürlich kein Helden, der dagegen groß was machen kann. Schlongli kann halt einfach nur Schaden austeilen. Alter, nervt das, ey. Natürlich hast du mich nochmal eingefroren. Jo, wahrscheinlich hast du mich nochmal eingefroren, obwohl du schon tot warst, ey. Bullcrap. Absolut Bullcrap. Ah ne, Zhangling war gar nicht tot. Aber ich hatte trotzdem das falsche Team auf jeden Fall ausgewählt. So viel ist gewiss. Für solche schwachen Gegner ey, fast noch hier, keine Ahnung was machen. Ultimates benutzen. So. Alright. Also wir standen ja da. Das heißt, Süden wäre dann theoretisch hier. Nach meiner Definition. Wir können es natürlich nicht machen. Welches... ist alles das gleiche Element? Nee, das waren noch gerade andere, oder? Doch. Nevermind, okay, es sind 4-mal Elektro. Wechseln wir mal die Truppe auf die mit Fischl und Beidou. Beidou. So. Das müsste Süden sein. Genau. Dann... I guess? Achso, ne, Moment mal. Es war Westen, oder? Nein, Moment, war es Osten oder Westen? Na, verdammt. Es war Süden. Osten, Westen, glaube ich. Na, das sehen wir gleich. So viele Möglichkeiten gibt es ja nicht. Sieht schon mal fresh aus.
Tianhong in the south,
Ja,
Yaoguang in the east,
sieht doch gut aus.
Guiyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue.
Oh,
Give it another try.
never mind. Ah, Moment mal, ich sehe es gerade. Auf der Karte hat man ja einen Kompass. Oh, ja, never mind. Okay. Das heißt, hier ist Süden.
By royal decree.
Na, schon besser. Ja, lol.
Look, the seal really was broken. Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
Herr Zhongli. Oh boy. Oh boy, Herr Schlongli. Who doesn't love a good Schlongli? Nehmen wir wieder das Team wegen der Kiste kurz. Redet. Ach, redet er jetzt nicht? Doch.
It's time that people learn the hidden truth. Lost.
Ach komm. Jetzt macht die Chester frei. Dankeschön. So, wo müssen wir hin? Wir können uns noch die Abenteuerbelohnung abholen, aber das machen wir, glaube ich, wenn wir einen Teleportpunkt haben, der weiter weg ist. Weil da können wir uns eh nicht hin teleportieren, da müssen wir so oder so hinlaufen. Aber ja, wir haben noch Abenteuerbelohnung für Stufe 47 und 48, glaube ich, offen. Die können wir uns dann noch holen. Verdammt, die sind immer noch tot. Uff, hier sind definitiv zu viele Viecher. Moment mal, waren wir hier nicht schon mal? Ach so, wir sind wieder zurückgegangen. Ich wollte gerade sagen.
Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two that we saw at Guyenstone Forest.
Okay, what is it?
I propose you two agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter, with only one object permitted per claim. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
Ich werde auch keine nehmen.
Hey! Don't pass an opportunity like this up so easily!
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist? No, absolutely not.
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the god of salt. I can't accept this.
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve as your consultant on this expedition. You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin, as well as traps.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. Even half of the treasure in the long-sealed ruin of the God of Salt should be enough to make a fortune.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. I just have one request, Mr. Zhongli. If we discover the truth behind the God of Salt, you must judge it fairly, even if the truth harms Morax's image.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
Lol. Good old Core Lapis. Oder, Moment mal, was zum Teufel? Was? Waren da zwei? Guess so. Oh damn. In der Höhle kann man richtig gut farmen. Naja, gut, richtig gut ist vielleicht etwas übertrieben, aber ja. Not too shabby. Oh ja, doch, Lotus ist auch noch da. Damn, Besonderheiten aus Liyue. Ui. Kann man ja gut farmen. Ja gut, dabei sollen wir es belassen. Das Rätsel im Salz, Tropenstufe 35 empfohlen. Boah, ich glaube, das haben wir. Ich glaube, das haben wir. Ladezeiten over 9000. Erforsche weiter und suche nach wirklichen Reliquien. Eine seltsame Statue, die aus Steinzeit
Are
besteht.
these statues?
No. These are people. They were probably followers of the god of salt.
Come this way.
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin?
Ich finde jetzt ehrlich gesagt ein bisschen unfair. Tropenstufe 35 wird empfohlen und die Gegner sind Level 80. It's a little bit unfair. Und wie zum Teufel komme ich da hoch? What? Hä? Habe ich gerade was verpasst? Oh, hoppla. Der Klassiker. What? Hier ist ein Feuer. Warum ist hier ein Feuer? Okay. Haben die irgendwas gesagt? Die haben noch nicht mal einen Hinweis gegeben, wie es weitergeht. Ich habe ehrlich gesagt nicht so sehr drauf geachtet. Ah, Moment mal. Ich kann ja Zhonglis Fähigkeit benutzen, fällt mir gerade wieder ein. Hoppla. Ja, so nicht. Damit könnte es vielleicht gehen. Aber das heißt, ohne Zhongli kommst du ja nicht weiter? Wow. Ja gut, das war nicht mein bester Move. Ach, aber wie unnötig ist das denn einfach nur? Das heißt, wenn man Zhongli nicht hat, kommt man ja nicht weiter. Das ist ja komplett bescheuert. Das finde ich ja nicht so geil. Weil Zhongli zu haben ist eigentlich keine Voraussetzung für die Quest.
Halfway with salt.
Ja, wobei, nevermind, vielleicht ist es ja... Ah, nevermind, wenn es der Legendenauftrag von Zhongli ist, dann schon, aber... Hatte ich eigentlich nicht ausgewählt. Das war eigentlich die Folgequest von der Main-Storyline.
Just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was a god lacking in treasures.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full. That is...
What?
Oh.
You're saying that even if I pour the salt out?
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is powerful indeed.
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious treasure. I claim this as mine. I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune.
Hey, how can you use a relic of the god of salt for such a shallow pursuit?
If Mr.
Was
Clement
hätte
wants
sie denn
this
benutzt?
salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan, according to the contract agreed upon.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this rare find?
Since we have a contract, it's no use for me to fight with him.
Then let's move on, shall we?
Alright. finde es halt in solchen Dungeons oder Sphären oder was auch immer, was das jetzt hier ist, finde ich es immer schade, dass man keine Items droppen kann. Ich meine, das endlose Abschlachten von Hillichuan, ja, ist jetzt irgendwann auch nicht mehr so spannend. Und ich meine, man braucht echt eine Menge Loot zum Upgraden. Also wenn man sich nicht nur auf einen Charakter, eine Waffe oder so versteift, dann ist das schon eine Menge, die man da braucht. Das ist natürlich schon hilfreich, wenn oh, jetzt brauche ich wieder Zhongli, oder was? Oh, RIP. Hey, what? Wie soll das funktionieren? Ich kann ja schlecht zwei Charakter was? Ah, doch, das funktioniert. Alter, ohne Zhongli kannst du in dem Dungeon nichts machen.
Just a simple ruler. Doesn't look to be worth anything.
Der Typ ist auch so eine...
This, if I remember correctly, this is some kind of measuring tool.
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with another power. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a bumper harvest of salt.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice.
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless. Why would she get anything?
Oh boy, here we go again.
Seufzt.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I no longer need you. Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I let you make the rules?
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, ones who break their contracts shall suffer the wrath of the rock.
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya. I
will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it rather unpleasant.
Lol. Das ist ja gar nicht so ein Larry, wie er aussieht. Wenn er immer ein Kopfgeldjäger der Fatui ist. Der fetten Ui. Ich hätte ihn gern gewone-shottet, aber das ist schwierig. Aber ja, ein One-Shot wäre nice gewesen. Und Game Over, Brother.
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin. Leave this place.
Oh, darn you! Just you wait.
Some archaeological survey. He could only pretend for so long.
Ich hoffe, du wirst nicht so gierig wie er, Paimon.
Hey, Paimon likes Mora, but Paimon doesn't do bad things.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many other things that may tempt us to break contracts. When people see the object of their dreams, how many are really able to control their desire and follow the contract? I think we should be honest with each other now.
Huh? Be honest about what?
That in truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition came here for archaeology.
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert when it comes to anything regarding the god of salt. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested in is the god of salt. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations at Yinyuan Hall.
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. I seem to have been right to seek you out once I plucked up my courage. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the jurisdiction of the Qixing, Yinyuan Hall of the salt industry. Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Wenn ich darüber nachdenke, habe ich dich nie direkt Lapis sagen hören.
Oh, right. Now that you mention it, the people of Liyue very seldom use the name Morax.
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him. But this is Morax's Liyue after all. And its history is written as he wishes. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge this history fairly.
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liyue is no longer Morax's Liyue. Come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
Damn, exposed. Was, dringe weiter vor? Wait, what? Es geht echt noch weiter? Damn. Das hätte ich jetzt nicht gedacht. Uff. Oh nein. Richtig schön wieder gegen ätzende Gegner fighten und keine Belohnung dafür kriegen. Absolutely freaking love it. Komm schon, gib mir die Ultimate. Gib mir die Ultimate. Oh, ich hab sie ja schon. RIP. Oh mein Gott, wow, really? Noch mehr zum Dur. Jetzt aber.
This is a sword?
Ich vergesse immer, das automatisch
The
umzustellen.
broken sword. This is proof. This proves that the god of salt had to fight back against the evil Morax. But sadly, she was defeated. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the god of salt.
It does look like something left behind after being defeated in battle.
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the contract, you can only claim one.
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But Clement is no longer here.
Yes, but the only one object per claim clause still holds true. You cannot take 2 relics at the same time.
This logic!
Zhongli, she seems like a good person, and no one is fighting over the treasure. How about you let this one slide, huh?
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not followed, then it is broken.
No! If I only take 1/2, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the god of salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay for breaking the contract.
Jetzt muss ich gegen Zhongli kämpfen.
That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath of the rock.
That's okay. The god of salt gave up her life to protect her people. My sacrifice is nothing compared to that. Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of my faith.
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But, as punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for breaking the contract. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among the seven.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven remained.
No! It can't be so.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade? Then... this sword...
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test my faith in the god of salt.
As I said before, I only state the facts.
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't try to trick me!
RIP.
Hey! Come back!
Das war zu viel für sie.
It is a punishment after all. I did not want to tell her such cruel facts. But the contract was broken. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin.
Als ob's noch deeper geht.
We will
Was
find
zum
something
Teufel?
that will leave her no choice but to face the truth.
Junge, da haben sie es aber ein bisschen übertrieben.
Are these statue thingies?
Ja gut, da hab's ich wohl etwas übertrieben.
And betrayal.
Ach so, Leute, es ging auch gar nicht weiter. Damn. What you doing, girl?
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time to this very day. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect anyone in wartime. The Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would be better to give her a quick release.
But what about these statue thingies?
No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength of mortal coils to bear. Those who could not flee were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they sought refuge with Rex Lapis. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternal curse. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword, and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger might be appeased. But they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even till the end, nurse hatred for her people in her heart?
Even if this is so, I can't. This must be a lie. A false history, all of it. Don't you dare try to shake my faith.
Ey, jetzt bleib doch mal da, Mann. Kann nicht wahr sein.
Zhongli didn't show any mercy this time either.
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not call it a bad thing. Judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, simply recognizing the truth is good enough for now.
Du scheinst nur allzu vertraut damit zu sein, damit, was mit der Göttin des Salzes geschehen ist.
Indeed. In ages past, Havria's story served as a warning to me as well. Faith in a god who has already passed will do you no good. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also.
Das Volk von dir wird das eines Tages verstehen.
All right then. Now, would you like to accompany me in taking a trip to Guyanstone Forest?
Huh? What do you want to do, Zhongli?
Treading old ground. Telling old stories. One cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintances.
Tja. Ja, ich wollte gerade sagen, wenn das jetzt nicht 575 Erfahrungen gegeben hätte und eine wertvolle Truhe, dann hätte ich mir aber schon gedacht, what the hell? Das war halt Überlänge des Todes. Und ein bisschen wack, ich habe irgendwie was anderes erwartet. Aber, naja. Dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal. Bis dahin, würde mich über ein Like, Kommentar und ein Abo von euch freuen. Ciao, ciao.